my name is Vicky Baker and you're watching Disney College Program Information Channel. So today I thought it would only be fitting to do some application tips and tricks. So I believe the application comes out on August 20th. Don't quote me on that, I've just read that on some website. But your application for Spring 2019 should be coming out August 20th or at least around then. So I thought of some tips and tricks today to help you guys apply when that application does drop. And throughout your application process, we're gonna see what I did and what I thought worked for me and what I thought didn't work so well for me. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I have my computer with me, and since we're gonna be doing a whole lot of reading, I also have my glasses, because if you guys didn't know, I cannot see anything. I'm legally blind in one eye, and I kinda need those. Okay, so I have all of these written out, so excuse me if I'm looking down a lot. Step one in the application process is the actual application that you fill out online at the Disney College Program website. It's very difficult to show who you truly are through that application. It's kind of vague. It just kind of asks, what's your name, where you're from. It's kind of like an about you questionnaire, except not really about your personality. But there are two places in this application where you can kind of show who you are and stand out. The first is work experience, and the second is ranking your roles. So for work experience, I would use the Disney keywords. I have no idea if they actually work, but I used them and my application went through. So I think it's better to use them than to not use them. Disney keywords are keywords or adjectives, kind of like description words that you can find on the Disney College Program website. So if I go to their website, they have a whole paragraph just about what the Disney College Program is and why it's special. And the last sentence in that paragraph includes the words problem solving, teamwork, guest service, and effective communication. So right there you have it. You have 4 descriptive words that I would consider to be Disney keywords that you can use in your application to enhance it if it's applicable to your work or volunteer experience. So I definitely used a lot of these, and if you go down to a specific role, you can also find Disney keywords that are particular to your role. So if say you really want merchandise, so that's my role. So I'm gonna go here to earning. You can see explore our roles. I can scroll down to under retail and sales and click merchandise. And under merchandise, you can find things like working independently or as a part of a large team, standing for extended periods, or working outdoors. I definitely used working independently or part of a large team. That's definitely a versatile skill to have. So that will definitely show them that you are not only versatile, but you comply with what Disney is looking for this specific role. Also, you're going to want to put in skill sets that not only Disney wants or keywords that you can find on their website, but also that might be unique to you and your work experiences or volunteer experience. Those will just kind of give your application that extra oomph it needs to stand out, because that's what you're trying to do through this application. For your role ranking, which is the second place that you can kind of show that you are capable to be a part of the Disney College Program. So for role ranking, everyone says, the more roles that you rank higher, the better, which I do agree with. They don't want to hire someone who only is interested in 2 of their roles when someone else is interested in all of them. So it's important to definitely keep an open mind and think about what you can picture yourself doing and if you would be happy doing that. If you do think that you might like a role or that you might learn to like a role, make sure to mark it high interest or moderate interest. If you absolutely cannot picture yourself doing a role and think it would make you unhappy, then definitely put low or no interest. As amazing as it would be to get in the DCP for any role, your role is a large part of your DCP, and you're going to be doing that job almost every day, so it's important to be doing something that you like, because if you don't like 90% of your Disney College Program, which would be your job, then you're not going to really have a great time on your program. It's definitely better to not get into the DCP at all than to get in for a role that you knew wouldn't be right for you. So So right now I'm gonna actually check my role ranking. So out of 18 roles that I counted hopefully correctly here, I put 7 as high interest, only 5 as low or no interest, and those no interest ones were ones that I absolutely knew that I did not want to be considered for at all, because remember, any interest, including low interest, is interest. So Disney can hire you for something even if you put low interest on it. Yeah, and the rest I put moderate interest. Some people do it a lot differently than I do. I've heard people that put high interest for only a few and are very selective and they still get in, and I've heard people that put high interest for everything and they don't get it, and vice versa. So it really just depends. It's better to be more open than not have a lot of interest in any of their roles. Next, we're going to be talking about the web-based interview. That is the second step in your application process. So when you apply, usually you apply early. I highly recommend that you apply early, so that first, second, or third day that application is dropped, you should be applying and submitting your first application. The web-based interview is just a questionnaire about you, and it's pretty straightforward. Make sure that when you're taking it, you're in a place that you feel comfortable, but also professional. Also make sure you have really good Wi-Fi and a computer, not an iPad or phone. So when you're taking the web-based interview, there'll be like a prompt like, I am always on time. And under that question, there will be strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. So that's basically the spectrum of answers that you can choose from. Each prompt has a time limit. I think it's about 20 seconds or so. So you need to be aware of what Disney wants, of course. If, like I just said, I am always on time, Disney obviously always wants you to be on time, so the logical answer to put would be yes, I am always on time, or strongly agree. However, if you are not always on time, or if you find yourself answering that you strongly disagree to what you think Disney might want in an employee, then maybe this program is not for you. You're not going to want to tell Disney that you're always on time and that you work really well independently if you don't, and then you show up to your job and you're late all the time and you cannot work by yourself. Those are just some examples, but that will not end well. You will either get termed or just be miserable in general trying to fix those habits. So it's definitely better to be honest. So another tip that you need to watch out for is it's easier than you think to contradict yourself due to complicated wording of separate questions. They are going to have a lot of similar questions that kind of ask the same thing but don't seem like they're asking the same thing, so that's why it's so important to be truthful, because you could trip yourself up. If you're bending the truth a little bit and you strongly agree with something that you think Disney will want but that you don't actually follow yourself, and then later Disney asks you the same exact question worded differently and you get confused and you say, I disagree with that, then you'd be contradicting yourself on accident. But yeah, being truthful will definitely help with that. Also, try to remember that you're always going to want to pick a strong answer. So whether that's strongly agree with or you strongly disagree with the prompt, or agree or disagree, you should definitely pick the stronger of one side, and try and stay away from those neutral answers, because Disney can't really determine who you are and what you stand for if you're neutral about every single prompt that they give you. So the third and last step in your Disney College Program application process would be the phone interview. This is the part where I definitely struggled the most, so hopefully we can learn from my mistakes and you can do better and feel more confident in your phone interview. If you pass your web-based interview, you will automatically be sent to a page that says, congratulations, you are being pushed to your phone interview. And if not, that's the end of your process. You either pass the web-based interview or you don't. There's no waiting in between. Again, when you're taking your phone interview, you want to feel comfortable but also professional. What I did is I rented out a classroom in my dorm. So not only was I close to my home base, but I was in a classroom-like space where I could feel professional, set up a desk, lay out all my supplies, and just be prepared. You're also going to want to be in a place where there's no people around or no people that could possibly interrupt you. So before the phone interview, what I did is I practiced hundreds of possible questions and answers that you can find online. They have Disney College Program phone interview question ideas, and these are all questions that people have had on their phone interview before. So what I did is I practiced those a whole bunch, and I also wrote out flashcards and notes and printed out my work experience from my application, and I had everything laid out and ready. And I do think these were good to look at before, but you can definitely over prepare for your phone interview, and that's what I did. I drilled myself way too much, and I don't think it was worth it because it ended up leaving me flustered and even more nervous than I was before. And there's no possible way that you could have a rehearsed answer for each question. There's also no possible way to find your answer to each question through the 20 pages of notes that you have, laid out around. It's just not possible in the spur of the moment. When you're asked a question, you're not going to want to be fumbling through a bunch of pages, and that's what I ended up doing. And about halfway through my interview, I said, to heck with that, and I just went straight from my brain, which I totally recommend. My advice is to actually limit yourself to a note card, like one of those jumbo note cards if you need it, for each part of the interview that you might be worried about. If there is a question that you find that worries you on the internet, you can write that out and write what you might answer for it. Maybe write out why you want to go on the DCP, and always have a note card ready for your interviewer's name. When you pick up your phone, they're going to say hello and they're going to introduce themselves, so make sure you write down their name, or at least remember it, so at the end you can say, "Thank you so much, Christine, for this opportunity," etc. But really, I think you should focus on why you want to be accepted into the DCP and why you think you deserve it, because that answer will come from your heart, and just let that drive you throughout all of your questions. All other questions and answers can stem from that one idea of why you are passionate about Disney and the college program. Also, I wasn't asked a single question that I rehearsed in advance, and I must have gone through hundreds of questions. Overall, just try your best. Disney knows you're not perfect, so if you mess up, laugh about it and move on. In a professional but fun way, just bring out your personality and just be yourself. All magical moments that happen at Disney are from the heart, and they are raw and real. So if you can just portray that in your interview, then I think that that would be exactly what Disney is looking for. And if you get through all 3 steps and you're feeling bummed about one of them, do not worry about it, because again, I mentioned this in my previous video, but it's all subjective to the time, the place, what Disney wants, who is interviewing you, etc. And you definitely cannot have a perfect go at each of these 3 steps. Disney can only learn so much from these 3 things, so just try your best and try to portray yourself as much as possible. And I promise, if Disney is in your heart, they will see that, and they will want you to be a part of the team. But if not, don't give up. You can definitely try again. Up until 6 months after you've graduated from college. So you have lots of opportunities to get into the Disney College program. So you guys, this is the end of my application tips and tricks. Good luck applying. I really hope this helps you out. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, have a magical day and good luck on those applications. I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.